Yeah, well,
David's a misogynist from way back.
Yeah, you asking me to figure that out for you, that's male privilege.
Exactly. She's not going to do your work for her.
Oh, okay.
But David, with all that said,
yes,
I am still curious as to
hate Joe Biden.
No.
That's an answer to your question. I hate the man.
But that is not an answer to my question, because I was not asking you whether you hated or liked Joe Biden. What I'm asking you,
I'm rooting against him. I want the economy to fail. I want the COVID. Go ahead.
Well, you suggesting you want COVID to increase?
Well, I'm an accelerationist. I'm an accelerationist. I think things have to get so bad that finally America will come to its senses and say we were wrong about Bernie. So I'm betting against. I'm shorting America.
But wait a second. Now, you need to explain this to me. If COVID gets really bad, if Joe Biden's response to COVID is bad enough, what do you think happens at that point? Like, how does that
I get $200 because I have 6,000 deaths per day. I have placed an option on 6,000 dead a day by March 15th.
So,
what
are you doing anything toward this? Are you like going out?
I'm not manipulating the market. No, not at all. I'm just saying that if this is for the good of our country, things have to get so bad that people will finally say, you know what, we made a mistake with Biden. Let's put Bernie in there.
But do you think that? Oh,
but wait a second. I'm curious.
We learned that. Hang on, didn't we learn that in the late 20s, early 30s in Germany, that things have to get so bad?
I've just got to say that the only casino that's probably, placing over/under bets or have them on COVID deaths is Trump's casinos. Would you think? And maybe that's what this whole thing was about. He was the one manipulating the market.
Well, I believe in Bernie.
Okay. Well, wait a second. I want to go back to a comment you just made before that I think is a little bit. So your argument is that the only way for
I'm not arguing with you.
No. Okay, your position is the only way that things can get better is if they get worse, and you cited as an example.
6,000 people dying by March 15th.
But you cited as an example I'm sure, the Nazi regime in Germany. Now, just to be clear,
hey, I got a couple $100 running on
pretty bad
6,000 dead people by March 15th. Why you bring?
Let me just you cited this. I did not. You had tens of millions of people die. I mean, both at the hands of the Germans, obviously, 12 million. But also tens of millions died in the war. And much of Germany was, or big parts of it were flattened. And then I guess theoretically the point is that then it built back up and is now the Germany we know today. And you're suggesting that we need to go through something like that as a way of getting Bernie in?
I think you nailed it.
But just from a timeline perspective, do you see the problem there? I mean, because you just like recounted.
Well, you're like a Wall Street. You know what? I came on this show. I didn't think this would be an ambush. You're like a day trader, Sam. No long-term horizon. You want immediate results. That's your generation. Yeah, I'm looking at the larger sweep of history. Look at Germany now.
Okay. Yes.
And by the way,
good and bad.
Who are you talking about? Say his name.
Who am I talking about?
Yeah, who specifically? The person, the evil person.
What evil person?
Joe Biden?
No, someone almost as bad. Hitler. You brought up Hitler, so you lost an argument that I didn't even know we were having. The minute you bring up Hitler, you've lost the argument.
Okay.
You look distant.
Okay. All right. So, yes. All right, fine. So where does this lead? Tell me what the strategy is.
The strategy is I believe in Bernie, and I'm putting everything I have left, the 96 Datsun, half a tank of gas with the Wendy's wrappers piling up in the back seat. I'm putting it all on the stimulus package coming in at 1.8 trill. And I need you to front me some money. because I feel you owe it to me. This is a sure thing. And Dianne Feinstein's husband is putting it all on 1.8 trill. You know, Senator Richard Burr, North Carolina, he's betting it all on 1.8 trill. And you know more than anybody else, these guys have the inside dope. So
you're shadowing some of the big whales, if you will.
Yeah.
And they're on their bets. I have to say.
So if you could front me some money,
I'll think about it. I need to hear a little bit more of your reasoning, I think, as to why these are going to come in. But forgive me for saying, David, maybe I'm picking up on something, but I feel like your perspective towards politics has become much more oriented towards gambling.
Look at you. You look at you pretend. Okay, this is
kink shaming, right?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Who was the one to tell you? Told me to put a nickel down on Bernie being labor secretary. You called me. You said you were over at Fox News. You heard that Bernie was going to be labor secretary, and I trusted you, and I lost it all. You said, don't hedge, go into it. You'll cover the spread. I trusted you.
Again, what is a spread? Like in this scenario, I
lost a nickel.
Right.
That's what, maybe you, what is a spread? Big deal. You guys having fun in the High Sierra drinking your, what are they, champagne cocktails on your show?
Wait a
nickel is a lot to me. And you go, hey, it's a sure thing. Labor Secretary Bernie. And,
First off, I got to tell you, I've not been at Fox News in maybe ever. Certainly not a decade.
I can't
Certainly
believe,
not recently.
I can't believe SAG-AFTRA threw you out of the union. You were an amazing actor. You're an amazing actor.
I never called you with a gambling tip.
Yeah. That's all you do is call me. You know what?
Tip.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not coming to your Super Bowl party.
I'm not.
I was. Yeah. I was going to come. I'm not going. I don't think it's safe.
Now, David,
50 guys crammed into an extended stay out by LaGuardia. Every year, Sam has this Super Bowl party, and it's tempting. I like his friends. But
now it's awkward because I did not invite Emma or Matt or Brenda.
It was 50 guys with all comorbidities. We're going to share our comorbidity. You said it's a bring your own comorbidity to the Super Bowl party.
But why wouldn't
masks optional?
Why wouldn't you encourage something like that when your agenda seems to be to accelerate and heighten the distinctions and the contradictions with the Biden administration and events like this Super Bowl party would increase the COVID infection rate?
I needed to get up to 6,000 by March 15th. That's why I was tempted to go. I got money riding on this.
Would you be willing, let me ask you this, would you be willing to risk infecting yourself if you knew that you were able to infect, I don't know, 4 or 5 other people?
By March 15th?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this, Sam. Your sister?
Excuse me?
Your sister. The one who lives in Borough Park. I love her. You know that. We all love her, and we were glad to see her finally. What are you laughing at? You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable. Emma, the guy.
Where are you going with his sister?
Okay. When she married Rabbi Teitelbaum's son in November, there were 5,000 Orthodox Jews crammed into that tiny shul. Correct. And maybe I should be saying this when we're not on the show, but
probably. But
you're not giving me the money on.
I didn't say that. I mean,
I know you love your. I don't want to say this. At the wedding, at the time there were 5,000 Orthodox Jews crammed into that shul, and it was supposed to be a joyous occasion, and because it was love in the time of a pandemic. And I get that. I didn't want to ruin it for you because, it was nice. It was November and, seeing them in love, Rabbi Teitelbaum's son, it was great. It put a spring in our steps. But the band was too loud.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us were, quarantining, and we hadn't seen our relatives for months, and we wanted to talk. And I kept saying, can you ask the band to turn it down? I couldn't hear what anyone was saying.
Right.
Thank God nobody was wearing masks, and I can read lips. But
very easy for you, yes.
I just doubt Rabbi Teitelbaum's wisdom. You would think he would have known to tell the band to turn it down.
Right. Yeah. No, there was a lot of irresponsibility there when it came to the sound
the
band was making. Yeah.
5,000 people crammed into that tiny shul.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I should. The chicken was rubbery.
Chicken was rubbery, but at least everybody got a chance to take a bite out of that one piece of cake
when we passed it around. That was nice.
Yes, that was
that was
very special. Yes.
And the chicken and the cake, by the way, it was non-dairy creamer used in the icing, and I didn't want to send it back because they're the wait staff there and they're working, and you got 5,000 hungry Jews,
of course,
and I don't want to. Hey, can I send this back? I didn't want to do it. But sometimes we have to do the things we're uncomfortable doing, so I sent it back.
So, David, let me ask you this.
Sometimes you have to stand athwart the mob and say, this chicken is rubbery. Sometimes you have to do that. Something your generation doesn't understand.
David, can I ask you this? Are you on any type of medication at the moment?
Perhaps. Only because I have a Cadillac healthcare plan, and I want to see what this baby can do.
I mean, you're on dialysis right now, right?
I'm on dialysis, and
you're just trying out various medications. I presume none of these are prescription. Technically prescription.
No, I have a concierge service. I got the new 2022 livers. I got a liver transplant. Got the new 2022s. I'm curious if we could just pivot for a moment to policy and some of the things that are being debated right now. What is your sense? We know this morning at 5:30 a.m. The process essentially to move Wonderama.
The amendment of Rama happened, and the process to move forward on reconciliation move forward. What is your stance on the whole $1,400 check question?
Well, first he said 2,000, and I think we should go back to 2,000, but do what he's doing with the 1,400, which is you give out the 2,000, but fewer people get it. That's the trick.
I see. Okay.
But he still keeps his promise that it's 2,000.
All right. Fair enough. Well, that was a very lucid response.
Thank you.
What is your sense about whether the Democrats are going to do $15 minimum wage?
I don't think. How do we get there? That's the problem. I'm for it, but how do we get there?
Well, Democrats may have to pass it on their own without any Republicans' help.
But don't you want bipartisanship? I mean, if you do it by yourself.
Right, yeah, that's a good point.
I would like people to be getting $15 an hour, but I think they would feel guilty taking that money if it wasn't bipartisan.
Right. Of course.
I mean, it's then it's dirty money. Do you want blood money? You're hurting. You're hurting McConnell's feelings. Do you want that? I wouldn't want that.
No,
but I'm holier than thou.
Right. I mean, you want to be able to feel good about that $15, but in fact, if it's not bipartisan, you'll be able to only feel good about $7.50, and that's barely it's a 25 cents.
I mean, is money red or blue? No, it's green.
It's green. It is green, but I got to tell you something.